It's crazy to think that I've had these hoverboards now for almost a decade, sat here collecting dust, and I owe a lot of my success to these things. They actually have something pretty valuable inside. One of these things, a 36-volt battery. Now you can find these things all over, plenty of listings for used ones on eBay, and they pack such a powerful punch for such a small size. And I'm hoping to build this. A portable battery-powered network haven. I want it to have the full stack of Unify apps, mainly Network and Protect, and I'll talk more about why later. With not only active PoE, but 24-volt passive, versatile WAN inputs, as well as Wi-Fi and a whole bunch of other goodies to make this the ultimate network powerhouse. So we have our 36-volt e-scooter battery, and we have our Unify gear. Now, how do we take 36 volts from this battery and turn it into 54 volts for this Unify gear? Well, we need one of these, a DC to DC converter. So let's bring in a voltmeter. You're going to need one of these if you're following along at home. So first let's check the voltage of our battery here, and this should be reading 40 volts, so around 36 volts. That's perfectly normal for this battery. So if I plug this little combiner box of XT30 connectors into our battery, which will only allow me to connect a few more things into the battery. We use the volt tester to test the output here. You can see that we're reading 53.6 volts, which is perfect to power our Unify gear. And this isn't a coincidence. If you take a small screwdriver here and twist this little knob, you can see that our voltage is dropping. Twist it the other way and you'll see the voltage rise. So now if we secure these barrel cables down on our 54 volt side, we should be able to plug in our network switch. Hopefully she powers on. Perfect. And as you can see, our cloud gateway fiber is booting up absolutely fine. So this here is the 54 volt architecture that we're going to be building, but I also want to build 12 volts into this. So introduce this, another converter. This is going to take our 36 volts from our battery and give us a clean 12 volt signal. And with that, I can attach this small little 12 volt charger and plug in my phone via USB-C to charge. Now all of this, like I've said, is going to live inside of this Pelican case. Not great for heat. We're going to need some active cooling. So I picked up these tiny little fans, which, you guessed it, run directly off of 12 volts. And there you go, some active cooling. Now this may look like a lot, and it is, and we're not done yet. I also want to add a bunch of switches to the outside of the case so we can control all of this stuff from the outside. I also want to give it some Wi-Fi with some external antennas, so we're going to need a wireless access point. I also want to include a volt and battery meter so I can check the health of our battery from the outside of the case with something like this. And last but not least, we're going to need a whole bunch of Ethernet couplers to put on the outside of our box so we can interface with the inside. And I'm not going to lie, I can't believe that all of this works absolutely perfectly. Let's start this build. That's so cool. Okay guys, so I think the hardest part, which is the power, all of this has now been figured out. So we have our battery in our box here, and I've installed these 3 switches on the side. The first switch is the master switch. So this just now energizes the other 2 switches. Our first switch takes care of our 12 volt DC to DC, which, as you can hear, is running the little fan in the side now. And then if I turn on the 54 volt switch, it powers up our DC to DC converter, which then powers up our 54 volt circuit. So all the power is working. The hard stuff is out the way. We've just got to fit all that in here now. Okay, so I have drilled now 5 more holes out the back to, as you can see, mount some Cat6 pass-through Ethernet couplers. So hopefully we can rock up to this box once it's on and everything's installed and hook into the back for LAN or WAN. And the best part is, because of this little switch, all of these ports on the back will be able to supply passive and active PoE should we need it for an access point or a camera. So guys, about 4.5 hours later, this is where we are at. We've got our switches on the side to control our circuits. On the back, we've got a bank of Ethernet ports that we can use. On this side, we've got our fan, 12-volt fan to bring us some fresh air in, and we've also got our USB mounted on the side here so we can charge things and power things off the battery inside. The last thing we need to put in is our 12-volt supply, which should just Velcro nicely onto there. We can just stick some heat shrink over these. Now I still need to install the voltage display and our Wi-Fi access point on top of here, but let's close it up and see if it works. Master power on, and then let's turn on our 12-volt circuit and see. The fan is alive. Charging off this. That is sick. So everything so far has gone swimmingly. We have one chance at this, because if I go wrong here, it's just gonna look awful. But let's give it a go. There she is, our little battery voltage indicator. That is really, really cool. So this will now let us attach the antennas on the outside. So with that connected on the inside, we can now screw on our little antennas on the outside here, and we should have full Wi-Fi coverage from our little Unify box. Oh, I love it. I love it. This is cool. So, I've got a bunch of stuff laid out on the workbench to test this. Everything is in the on position, so I'm hoping we should be good to go. Now, I haven't labeled up any of the ports on the back. I will do that because some of these are giving out active PoE at 24 volts. So if you plug any old device into a few of these ports, you'd end up frying them. So I should be able to take this little network switch here and give our box a WAN connection. And as you can see, that's lit up just fine. And now, whilst I'm waiting for everything to boot up, I've got a couple of wireless Protect cameras here, so I can actually power these from the USB port on the side. And I've also got a 180-degree camera here that takes its power from PoE. So we should be able to power up this camera via plugging it into one of our PoE ports. And just to really show the box off, here is another wireless access point, again that we can power over PoE from the back of the unit. Okay, so everything is now booted up. We have a load of stuff hanging off of our box, including these two cameras, this 360 camera up here, and a second Wi-Fi access point here. Bear in mind, the first Wi-Fi access point is actually in the box itself. But on my phone, as you can see, I have these three camera feeds coming from these three cameras. Mind you, all of this is being powered from this box. No external power supply. So the main reason I built this is so that I can have the entire Unify system, including Unify Protect, in a box that I can take basically anywhere. So I have the full Unify suite of stuff here, which is insane. But if I go over to Protect, you can see our three camera feeds that are being powered from our net box outside. This looks insane. And I've even got one of Ubiquity's 180-degree cameras here, so I can see a massive, massive wide field of view. Now, I know a lot of people will be saying, yeah, that's great, but what if you want to take this elsewhere? Well, with that PoE on the back, I could connect it to a Starlink, or I could also just really simply add a 4G dongle like this. I'm going to test this out tomorrow by putting the box on top of my car, so hopefully you can see some CCTV footage from that right now. And there you guys have it. No wires. I am dead impressed with this. Just to prove that this is real. So guys, Netbox has come out of beta and is now in version 1.0. If you have anything that you could recommend that we do to this or to improve it, let me know, but I am over the moon. I love the fact that all this is quick disconnect stuff, so I can just quickly disconnect everything and move it all away. And then when all is said and done, we can just... Guys, I'll see you in the next one. Peace. Thanks to Squarespace for sponsoring today's video. They're the all-in-one platform for building a professional website, whether you've never touched one before or you like injecting your own code. And if you've ever started a blank page thinking, where the hell do I start? Squarespace has this thing called Blueprint AI that can help you generate a site layout based on what you're making. You can even fine-tune everything with the Fluid engine, which is basically drag and drop editing for websites. It feels futuristic, modern, clean, and it's easy to get looking premium. So if you know someone that needs a website, head to Squarespace and grab yourself a free trial. And when you're ready to purchase, you can save yourself 10% by using code TechFlow, or go to squarespace.com/TechFlow. Huge shout out to Squarespace for helping with this video.